Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America locked in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the indigenous one. Last week, while at the No Grandma's Killer Tour, the intelligence level at the place was through the roof. A couple of the brothers are here to share with you tonight some of the things that we should know, but we don't. So if you have people, friends, relatives far and wide, you need to contact them and tell them to turn in now. Tell them to tune in now. Because what you're about to hear is some information that should have been passed down to us years ago. I want to welcome the Auchtoctones crew to African Americans Ain't Africans. Gentlemen, go ahead. I'm going to mute my mic.
What's going on, everybody? This is No Sellout.
Hey, greetings, everyone. This is Bones.
Greetings, everyone. It's Lily.
And basically, before we get started, we'd like to thank the brother Kerry Davis for giving us the opportunity to come display some information, like he said, that we should have been known about for years. Some information that can change our communities and actually put us on the path of self-sufficiency. And today we're going to take the time to start out with a program called HUD Section 3. And it's a part of PIH, which is known as Public Indian Housing.
Excuse me, sir, could you explain what public Indian housing is, what it is, and how come we don't hear about it anymore?
Yes. Public Indian housing is the mechanism that runs what you would consider housing. And it's what they march for that's in the Fair Housing Act. Actually, Dr. Martin Luther King. And it was the mechanism that would allow us to have say-so in construction and hiring in our own communities. And then over time, they kind of changed the name to call it HUD. You don't know about the codes and stuff. But if you study HUD, you'll see it all goes back to PIH. All the funding from HUD comes from PIH. Even if you look up the Fair Housing Act, you're looking there and it says PIH.
Well, brother, go ahead with it. I'm eager to hear.
No problemo. No Sellout, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Whenever you start.
Peace to the chat. Peace to the panel. Peace to anybody that's going to be listening to this later. We are starting with HUD Section 3. Section 3 brochure. What is Section 3? It is a means by which HUD fosters local economic development, neighborhood economic improvement, and individual self-sufficiency. Section 3 is a legal basis for providing jobs for residents and awarding contracts to businesses in areas receiving certain types of HUD financial assistance. Under Section 3 of the HUD Act of 1968, wherever HUD financial assistance is expended for housing or community development, to the greatest extent feasible, economic opportunities will be given to Section 3 residents and businesses in that area.
So basically, just off the... Go ahead, Gabrielle, go ahead.
I apologize.
You was asking a question?
I was.
Go ahead.
So if I'm to understand this section correctly, funds, if you're a Section 3 resident, Section 3, if you're a business in an area designated as Section 3, if you are a resident in an area that is designated considered a Section 3, there are funds available for you and programs available for you to participate in, to utilize, right?
Correct. Whether it's from job training, skill set training, or even the ability to bid on contracts in your own community. And as you can see in there, it lets you know this mechanism has been around since 1968. And what was released in 1968 again? Isn't that the Fair Housing Act?
The Fair Housing Act.
Yes, it was.
Is there another name for the Fair Housing Act?
PIH.
Okay.
We can continue if there's no more questions on that part.
All right. Section 3 policy. Congress established the Section 3 policy to guarantee that the employment and other economic opportunities created by federal financial assistance for housing and community development programs should, if possible, be directed toward low and very low income persons, particularly those who are recipients of government assistance for housing.
So, Congress established this, right?
Yes.
And it's specifically for directed towards low and very low income persons. So you can find out if you fall under this, right?
Yes, correct. They do have a map to where you can see the medium income of the area and what areas are eligible for it. And one of the key words is normally where you see urban, it's 10 out of 10 is eligible.
Now, let's say you are receiving, because it says if you're a recipient of government assistance, if you're receiving government assistance, this lets you know that you can participate and be a part of this, right?
Matter of fact, if you already on Section 8 are receiving any assistance, you're at the top of the list.
Oh, hold on, wait. Can you repeat that one more time for me, please? I might have missed that, what you just said.
If you're already receiving, like Section 8 or any other government assistance, food stamps, Medicaid, any type of that assistance, you're at the front of the list. You just got to apply yourself and use it.
I thought that's what you said.
As you can see in the first line, it lets you know that's what it's designed for. We can continue.
Check.
1 2 1 2.
Hold on 1 second. Just cleared it. Need to get back. And here we are.
So with these incomes, okay, so these are very low incomes, and in those areas, the residents, they're not so eager to go ahead and try and do some of the things that you're talking about. What are some of the ways that you got people to come to understand this?
Well, it's basically by going to the map, by the HUD business map, and you can search the businesses in your local area, and you'll find out a lot of the jobs that you're working for today are getting the benefit because you're working there. You'll find out that a lot of things in your neighborhood, people put there because they're receiving a benefit through HUD Section 3. And once people see that you can use it for yourself, they kind of understand how the program works, because it's just all it's about is instead of allowing someone else to come in our neighborhood and do it for us, we take on the responsibility and do it for ourselves.
Yep. And it just starts with registering as a HUD Section 3. Say that again, Bones.
And basically showing them a lot of the success stories from it already. Because again, haven't came across anyone who followed the program step by step that was turned down. A lot of people probably know the brother Enrique that's in the community. He's already bidding on HUD Section 3 contracts. It's that easy. It's less than 5 minutes to register, if that.
Yeah, that's where it starts, is the registry as a HUD Section 3 resident and business or business.
Yeah, and you can actually look up in your local county to find out what businesses are registered as HUD Section 3. And when you see those businesses that are registered as HUD Section 3, let's say they may be minimal, but you see that those businesses that are registered as HUD Section 3, those may be the businesses that everyone says, hey, you should go get a job here, or hey, you should go get, you'll see, I mean, because it's there for you to see, but you'll see how many businesses are registered as HUD Section 3 businesses. And if there isn't any, then
And
that's a
let's take
great
that a bit further.
opportunity for you. I'm sorry?
And let's take it even further than that. You see some of these jobs that you work on, and this job has training to where you go get training for particular things or new skills. You'd be surprised at a lot of HUD Section 3 registered businesses. So that business is collecting top dollar for you going to training, and you don't even know about it.
Why aren't our local politicians informing us of these things?
Well, because most politicians, a lot of them, this is how they make their benefit.
Right.
They'll come in, they'll make investments in your community, and they're not telling the whole time you thinking it's hard work and being very intelligent on investments. No, they're just using a program that they're not telling you about that was designed for you.
That's what it is.
I mean, again, you don't have to take our word for it. You can go to the HUD site and they have the search there where you can type in your area and you can see every HUD Section 3 registered business. It's going to pop up. Matter of fact, earlier this rising, we did it with the sister Phoenix Moon for New York. And again, a lot of these companies got you in because they're getting the extra.
Breaking up, Bones.
Wait, have
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Okay,
that's clear. That's clear.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish that up, brother.
Yeah, all I was saying before it broke up is, again, a lot of these companies that are hiring you are not hiring you because they like you, are looking out for your best interests. A lot of them are getting kickbacks for hiring. And like we said at the No Grandma's Killers tour, it goes by the median income. And again, you have people that's making $90,000, $100,000 a year, and you're low income.
So you make $100,000 a year, and you're considered low income.
Yeah,
Yes,
you'd be surprised who's considered low income, but you can definitely check on your income level per your state and your area down to your zip code, I believe.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
So you say go to HUD website. What's that? HUD.org or HUD.gov?
It's HUD.gov. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thought I was off mute. It's HUD.gov.
I mean, so you guys can go ahead because I'm listening.
We got a question. I saw a question in the chat from a Facebook user. It says, I live in Flint, Michigan, and they have this HUD Section 3 apartment building and more right across the street from me. How do I get my community to take control of this Section 3 program?
Wait, ask that last part of that question again.
Let's see here. Gotta go back to it. It says, hold on, oops, live comments. How do I get my community to take control of this Section 3 program?
It would be having a conversation with them, getting together with people in the community, and informing them, explaining it to them, breaking it down to them, so that they can participate in it.
So what's the difference between Section 3 and Section 8? Are they two separate? How does that work?
So
Well,
Section
Section
8.
8.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Gabriel. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say Section 8, basically, I mean, it breaks down to a voucher. So while it provides assistance, you find, the residence that you're going to be at, the house that you're going to, or apartment, it provides a voucher for assistance, either covering a portion or all of the amount based off of your income for rent.
So, but they're two separate programs, or if you're in one, can you get in the other? I mean, how does that?
They are two
Yeah, if you're on
they are
Section 8, yeah, they are two separate, but they're also linked because PIH is the mechanism that still funds Section 8. If you look up Section 8 and you go down to the bottom of it, it ties back into PIH.
Right.
The difference between the two programs is Section 3 is designed for you to have a stake in rebuilding your neighborhood, your community, and bettering your skill sets. Section 8 is just designed for people to rent. Basically it.
Dude, could you say what Section 3 is for again? Very important.
Section 3 is for the investment in rebuilding your community, the ownership of your own homes, the pushing forward the skill sets. Because again, through HUD Section 3, you want to learn a skill, they'll pay you top dollar to learn a skill while you're learning the skill. Again, in New York, they were paying people $45 an hour, not to install drywall, to learn how to install drywall.
Paid training.
And we'll get to that part because there's a whole list of stuff that you can that they'll pay you to learn.
Okay, cool. I'm listening.
All right, so we're under section. Hold on a minute. We're at Section 3.
Oh, before you go on, I see a question popped up. Where someone said they called in and they said that they didn't know nothing about it. If you call into your local housing authority and they give you this line, they don't know anything about HUD Section 3, go to the website and call the number on there and report it. Believe me, it does make a difference. Do not let them tell you they don't know nothing about it and you just walk away that easily. No.
That's funny. That's what we do.
Yeah, we walk away. We can tell you here that actually reporting people do get people removed.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, you can continue, no sellout. Just wanted to answer that question before we went further on.
All right. So the next section, we're under who are Section 3 residents? Section 3 residents are public housing residents, low and very low income persons who live in the metropolitan area or non-metropolitan county where a HUD assisted project for housing or community development is located.
One more time, please.
I was about to say, is that city and county? That's rural too? Rural area too?
It says, who are Section 3 residents for the people in the back? Section 3 residents are public housing residents, low and very low income persons who live in the metropolitan area or non-metropolitan county where a HUD assisted project for housing or community development is located.
So basically, if you have a housing authority in your area, you can qualify. What? Any questions on that one?
Could you repeat it, please?
One more time for no sellout.
Who are Section 3 residents? Section 3 residents are public housing residents, low and very low income persons who live in the metropolitan area or non-metropolitan county where a HUD assisted project for housing or community development is located.
I mean, that was straight to the point. If there's a housing authority, you qualify. And I know we know there were a whole lot of them all over our neighborhood. So let's keep it 100.
100.
We can continue no sellout because it's gonna get good.
Yeah, Gabrielle, I hope you're keeping up with the questions in the chat because I can't. Determining income levels. That's where we're at right now. Low income is defined as 80% or below the median income of that area. Low income.
So give us an example of what do you mean by that? So if I make $100, what's 80% of what? Explain that.
So if, like you said, $100, what's 80% of $100, y'all? That's $80, right?
$80.
Somebody.
Yeah.
So if you make $80, you're low income. Just that simple. If the median of that area is $100, and we just rounded off as numbers. Well, let's say 100,000 a year. Let's say they say it's 100,000 a year, and you only making 80,000. You're low income. You qualify.
See why I had everybody listen to it?
I'll tell it one more time. If you make 100,000 a year, and you're only, if the median, no, let's re-say that. If the median income for your area is 100,000 a year, and you only making 80,000 a year, you are low income.
So there's a question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know, like teachers, nurses, firefighters, police officers. Yeah, low income.
That's low income? What?
It's making you think now, huh?
Gabrielle, you said that was a question.
Yes. Eric C says, so just go to my local housing authority and apply. I can probably get a house in the city. So I don't want to misinterpret this question.
Well, basically, I think it's a question on the process. The process, if you're, the way it works is this, it's community oriented. It's not an individual thing when it comes to home ownership and housing. So let's say through HUD Section 3, we see that we can build a housing project for our community. Then we can tap into HUD Section 3 to benefit our community. And that's why a lot of times why these projects don't work, because it's not meant for you to come in as an individual, but it's meant to do what we were taught not to do, link up and become communities again so we can prosper.
Facts.
Okay, there's another question. Indigenous
Yep.
Akameki. I could be saying that wrong, and I do apologize.
Hey, Acamax.
Akamax. Thank you. Appreciate that.
If I heard that correctly.
You heard it right. You said it cool.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Indigenous Akamax asks, can we restore housing in low-income rural areas? Can we build new housing? Can we build modular housing?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
yes,
and
yes. Hold on, I think it was
Yes, you
that was all
can.
yeses. It was all yeses. That was all yeses.
just yes across the board. And that's what it's designed to do. But what I say is, if there's a catch, you know how some people are like, what's the catch? The only catch is you can't come in as an individual.
Correct.
It forces us to work as a community again for our benefit. But that's not a bad thing, because if we're members of this community, as the community grow, as individuals, we grow too.
Correct.
I have a question from Eugene Page. He wants me to ask them, do you have to be a part of a tribe? I asked the HUD office. They gave me the office in Chicago, and they said I had to be in a tribe for that.
Well, it depends on what he was specifically calling about, because you don't have to be a part of a tribe to participate in this.
Right. You know, this seems to me, it's just to me, because you were saying this was part of the Indian Housing Authority. It seems like a lot of those laws and stuff back there, brothers had their hands on, and things were set up for us to prosper on. And this seems like one of those things. You know, it just seems like it, because it's like, damn, you know, there's an out for us to do something if we work together.
Yep.
And so, you know, if you got brothers that live in Indianapolis, you have brothers that live in New York, brothers that live in Georgia, brothers that live in Mississippi, Alabama, they can all link up with this same program to do some cool shit.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
Do we have any more questions in the chat?
I'm trying to keep up. Hold on.
No, it's all right. We got time. We got time.
Okay. I hope I didn't. It moved, so I hope I didn't miss it. Indigenous Akamaki.
It's the same one, Accomack.
Accomack. Says the Akamaki Indians lived in Northampton. Can we build or restore our county in Virginia?
Shout out to Northampton. I mean, the answer is yes. The answer,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
The answer is yes.
I was trying to see the next question.
Nope, that answer is yes as well. I mean, that's what this program is designed to do. I mean, this is community building 101.
Okay, that is for right now. That's all I can see in questions. I think it moved a couple of times. You got it, don't sell out.
All right. So we're on the very low income. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. All right. Can I be heard?
1 2 1 2.
All right. Very low income is defined as 50% or below the median income of that area. So similar to the other example, $100,000, the median, 100,000 is the median. You would be considered very low if you were at 50,000 or below. So the median incomes can be found using the American Fact Finder. That's a hot link.
Excuse me, panel. We have a caller. Have the caller has a question or a statement?
Okay.
Hi, this is Lisa from the Accomack Indians or Accomack, depending on who says it.
Yep.
But we're in Virginia, and what I wanted, I mean, so you said that we could actually we have really old houses that need to be rebuilt. We have people that are living below the poverty line, one of the poorest counties probably in Virginia. And you're saying that we could actually benefit from this. You've been organizing this 501c. We have about, I guess on record, at least 300 people. Probably more than that when you count all the families and everybody else. So you're saying we could actually do something in the county, actually fix up our homes, actually, build apartment buildings, things like that with this program.
If I was hearing her correctly, yes.
Okay.
Mic check. Yes. I thought I was off mute. My bad.
That are out there. Only thing I did was I went on Facebook and I started doing my genealogy. I had my wife do genealogy for 30 years, but I used that information to pull in people who have the same bloodline, who have all connected to the people, those last names, those surnames on my family tree. They are those indigenous people of that area. And I informed, the Yakamac Indians, reformed, reunited the Yakamac Indians, and then, formed the corporation, formed the 503(c). So if you wanted to do that, that's how we formed, just to let you guys know. But, so this is something that we need to do. This is something that really is necessary for the people in, Northampton County that are Yakamac Indians. So I definitely will be hitting you guys up on this, because we really need to do some things to help the folks out there.
Hold on, great. Hold on 1 second. Carrie, Bones is backstage right now, and I think he wanted to expound on the question that was asked as well. Before she leaves, he's backstage.
Okay, well, he's in now.
Okay, there you go.
And unmute the mic and go. So what she's saying is, go ahead, Lisa.
Could I also we have a lot of people that are unemployed or underemployed. So is it also true that we could hire ourselves to do the rebuilding, to build the houses, to do the painting, to put down the floors, to do the plumbing, et cetera, put the wells in, clear the land. Like I could contract people that are the local people right here to do all the clearing the land, landscaping, roofing, what have you.
I want to say, if I'm hearing her correctly, because it sounds kind of far. So when you register business as a HUD Section 3 business, you can put in what your business can do, so that you can bid for the contracts for that.
Okay. So really, in order to really make this work that way, I almost need another 503, I need a kind of a construction business. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Right. That part of that, we do agriculture, we do, I don't know if that's part of our business plan or not. I have to look back at it. But, I mean, will I have another?
Go ahead. Let me go on mute, because
Hey, we do this. Right, huh?
Bones, if you're hearing me, it looks like your microphone is muted.
Okay.
Not you, Lisa. I'm just talking what I'm seeing on the screen. What I'm seeing on the screen. Bones, is like your microphone is muted. So if you can unmute it and get right back in. But this is what I was talking about. Like, she's talking about that part in Virginia and pulling all her family together, and seriously, what we really need is unity. Seriously, to start working together.
Not just family, strangers, people that are outside of your family. People are just have the right lineage. They may not be your cousins, your kin folk. They're not, blood related, but still of the same nation. And so and then I was wondering, if
Mic check 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
Do we have to form a construction company in order to be able to be the construction company? Do we have to form that as a part of the HUD application?
You can subcontract that out.
So I can subcontract. If I have cousins and people that are already plumbers, that already are licensed, whatever, demolition or whatever, I can subcontract the thing under, that's okay under the HUD thing.
Correct.
Okay. What about unskilled workers? How does that work? What if I want to train? What if we want to train some young people?
On the job training, paid training.
And how does that work? I mean, do you have to have how do you get that under the umbrella of the HUD?
Your workers will be registering as a HUD Section 3 residents.
Right. So in hiring them, are they hired under the ACMAT, or are they hired under Like, how do you do it? Do you, I don't know, I'm not getting it.
So let's say you bid on a contract, right? You get the job and this is what you're doing, but you subcontract what's needed to be done to who those of your choosing. That's how it would be done.
So is this how it goes? Let's say the
Some subcontractors will be required to hire 10% of the workforce in that field from that community.
So if I just applied, let's say we got 6 homes that need to be done, or 8 that need to be restored. Okay, so can we as the aftermath go under HUD and get that, like, okay, we need money for restoration, and then subcontract the person that does the roofing, and subcontract the other different, things that need to be done? Is that how that works?
That's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works.
Okay.
But in that case, you would register as a HUD Section 3 business. In that case, you would register as a HUD Section 3 business that allows you to bid on contracts.
Right.
So the aftermath is register as a HUD Section 3 business, and then we will bid on so we bid on our own contract? Is that what that works? That works? Or we're bidding on?
Yes, you can. You can bid on any one.
Okay.
And I think this is where also too, when we start doing cross general, we really start hooking up, because have people come in from different places, in the same area. They may not be from Virginia. They may be from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Or Florida.
Right.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, just because you locked into one state, it does not mean that you cannot do HUD Section 3 projects in another state. The only qualification is it must be a qualified area. That's it.
Right. And that's a lot of area. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, basically any place where you be urban at. Oh, I don't know what part y'all left off on. People kept calling in.
We're on determining income levels.
No sellout was still reading, or you took over from him?
Oh, no sellout was still reading. I can take over though. Okay, I'll go ahead. Determining income levels.
No problem. Seemed like you stepped away for a minute. Probably got a call.
Gotcha. Determining income levels. Low income is defined as 80% or below the median income of that area. Very low income is defined as 50% or below the median income of that area. Median incomes can be found using the American Fact Finder using the American Fact Finder. So and American Fact Finder is a hot link. So if you click on it, what it does is it'll take you to data.census.gov. And what it will do is basically populate the census
basically
data.
a tool so you can find out what's in your area.
Right.
I mean, down.
Mic check. Can y'all hear me?
You
I'm here. I can hear you.
there,
Okay.
Gabrielle?
So I'll go to what is Section 3 business? What is a Section 3 business and what types of economic opportunities are available under Section 3? A business that is at least 51% or more owned by Section 3 residents, whose permanent full-time employees include persons at least 30% of whom are currently Section 3 residents, or within 3 years of the date of first employment with the business concern were Section 3 residents, or that provides evidence of a commitment to subcontract in excess of 25% of the dollar award of all subcontracts to be awarded to a Section 3 business concern. Types of opportunities: job training, employment, contracts. So basically, this is breaking down Section 3 business. So when you're registered as a Section 3 business, your employees, 30% of whom are currently Section 3 residents.
So again, having a HUD Section 3 resident business in your community allows you to hire the same members of your community, and you and your community gets the benefit.
Correct.
Yep.
And this goes to, I believe, the question that was asked earlier, where it says that provides evidence of a commitment to subcontract in excess of 25% of the dollar award of all subcontractors to be awarded to a Section 3 business concern.
Yep. So the mechanism in there for you to be awarded these contracts. We just
Right.
have to get this information, spread it amongst ourselves, organize it, and use it.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so at the bottom of this list, so this is just something I was thinking. So is maybe this how all these new startup companies are starting out? You know, these,
You starting
Right.
something, Brother Kerry. You starting
They're not
something now.
using their own funds. I'll tell you that much. They're not using their own.
So I'll give you an example. In the county that I'm in, there is only one business that is registered as a HUD Section 3 business for tear down, rebuild, drywall, construction, housing, every possible title or label dealing with the tear down or rebuild or building of, whether it's housing, houses, restaurants,
Commercial properties, yeah.
commercial, residential.
Put it like
There
this, to
is
sum
one
it
business.
up. Put it like this, to sum it up, when them HUD contracts come out in your area, they're not competing with nobody.
No competition,
Not
yeah.
one
They win
person,
automatic
not
win the
one
bids.
entity. Yeah,
Because there's
correct.
nobody else to
Thank you,
bid
Bones.
against.
Thank you for that.
So simply one construction
Correct.
company is getting all the funds for construction in that area.
In that area. Facts.
Correct.
Yeah, you got a construction company, you better register as a HUD Section 3 business.
And that's the thing, the beautiful thing about it. Your company doesn't have to have anything to do with construction, and you can still register and bid on construction contracts.
This is
Now,
true.
Correct.
This is true.
You
No
can own a shoe
construction
store.
experience needed.
You can own a shoe store in your community and register as a business to bid on contracts.
Yep.
I mean, this is the epitome of working together.
Exactly.
This is the stuff we have to do.
This is why they spend so much money on keeping us separated. Now you know why.
Facts.
So I mean, you see all the things that that on the list that we do. I mean, from the bricklaying. I mean, can you imagine us doing some up-to-date housing with the new ideas that are going through building housing and just building and using the the energy around us? Can you imagine if we working together?
And look at it this way: the same things that's on that list, they will pay you. They will pay you to get training in it. So let's say if you want to learn one of them skills that's on this list, they will pay you to go get training for this.
One more time, bro. One more time.
They will pay you to go get trained in that skill set. Not pennies on a dollar. No, you get top dollar for training.
Okay, check this out. I got a question. Here go a question. We know how these schools are in these cities around the areas that you guys are talking about. The schools are horrible. Let's say you have a young man or a young woman who didn't graduate high school, or an apartment full of dudes who didn't graduate high school. How would you bleed them into this?
Oh, because you don't need no high school diplomas or anything to get training through HUD Section 3.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, you have a lot of housing authorities that are using this for ex-felons, for them to have a way to provide for themselves. Because whether they have a felony and all that, guess what? It doesn't matter with this program. It's not based on that. It's based on your median income for the area that you live in. Criminal record, educational level, that means nothing with this program. Matter of fact, they don't even ask you about it.
See, Rhonda Hall says Baltimore City has 17,000 abandoned homes. My cousins remodeled one home. See, these are the type of ideas and the type of things that need to be done that these programs can be helpful. Could you explain that?
Yes, let's just take the area of Baltimore. You see how they got them 17,000 abandoned homes? Well, that's enough justification on why they can step up and have their own housing district, a housing authority. They can turn them 17,000 homes into a housing authority, just repairing them. See, you don't have to be a government entity to have a housing authority. All of us on this panel, we can get together and decide we want to start a housing authority and just put in a bid. So again, we can use these programs, and like it was even in how Rhonda said, her cousins remodeled one. Imagine how many we can remodel once we start working as communities. And anyone who think it's not possible, just to inform you, Habitat for Humanity runs off the same mechanism plus sweat equity. No money involved whatsoever, and they build houses. All for government funding.
That's right. And not only are these houses, in this case, these 17,000 homes being rehabilitated, but in the process, you're at that point educating new tradesmen and women who are able to not only go on but to make money right then, to have an income and a job doing this, but they could go on, form their own businesses, their own corporations, and start training others, and the whole thing could exponentiate.
We just make it one big continuous loop.
Correct. What's going on, Copper? How you doing? Shout out to Copper and Dio.
Greetings, everybody.
Glad you can make it.
And let me go ahead and read the list of these examples. So the types of opportunities. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Opportunities. Yeah, go ahead.
So the types of opportunities, we have job, training, employment, and contracts. And the examples include under administrative and management, we have accounting, payroll, research, bookkeeping, purchasing, and word processing. That's administrative and management. I think that sounds familiar to some people out there, have done some of these types of things or are interested at least in these types. Under services, we have appliance repair, florists, marketing, carpet installation, janitorial, photography, catering, landscaping, printing, computer and information, manufacturing, transportation. And under construction, we have architecture, bricklaying, carpentry, cement and masonry, demolition, drywall, electrical, elevator, construction, engineering, fencing, heating, ironworks, machine, operation, painting, plastering, plumbing, surveying, and tile setting. Some examples.
I mean, and could you talk about the industries that many of us come from, and that is of planting and growing, growing certain crops, growing certain foods?
I'm sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Did I?
I didn't hear the question.
Okay, I think I got a delay going on.
Growing certain crops, growing certain foods. Could you explain how we could use that for that?
Oh, you talking like specialty crops and things?
Or just how to use, you saying how to use gardening and farming as with Section 3?
Yes.
Well, basically, you could use the HUD Section 3 program to get land in city areas for urban gardens or improving already built gardens. You can use it to restore facilities, especially if you have brothers and sisters that's already using USDA farming programs. You can tie it in together to use both. You can use the farming program for the stuff for the farming stuff that you need, and use the HUD Section 3 for the building, the facility, the hiring of the workers, the training of the brothers and sisters to have certain skill sets so they can work in these new industries that we're creating.
Oh, so you can use multiple programs and double and triple and quadruple dip.
That's right.
Some people use it up to 8 times.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the limitation? The limitation on HUD Section 3, it states you can make $1 million by being a HUD Section 3 resident for 3 years consecutive.
3 consecutive years, yeah.
Correct.
3
Again,
years. So that's
up to $1 million for 3 consecutive years and stay on the program. So what do some of these people do? They'll make $1 million for 2 years in a row and drop down their income for that 3rd year so they can stay on the program moving forward.
correct.
That's right. We've said on Cab Grand Rising that really the limiting factor here is your creativity.
Yeah.
Because and case in point, No Sellout and I got together one rising, and we were over it we were in Chesapeake in the Greenbrier section, and we saw a parking lot of a restaurant that had been closed for what No Sellout about at least about 8 years or so.
It's called
if not longer.
The grass is growing in between the cracks of the parking lot. That's how long.
Yeah, the geese had taken over the parking lot. It's just a regular parking lot that people walk by every day. Nobody pays attention to. We were sitting there looking at that, and we were looking at how we could turn that into a community garden.
Facts. Concrete garden.
Yeah, a
Container
concrete
garden.
garden that could feed the whole neighborhood.
Correct. Yep.
Sirs, we have a caller calling in. Deborah had a question. Go ahead, Deborah.
Hey, hello guys. I'm so excited about everything that you're teaching. It's like all these ideas are going through my head. So I would like to know, how do I open up I have a for-profit and a nonprofit. How would I use one of those to open up a business where young men and women can actually use? I can actually raise funds for young men and women to get these skills, to be able to obtain skills and then put them to use in our communities. Could my nonprofit be used for something like that, or even my for-profit?
Yes, by just registering your nonprofit or your profit business as a HUD Section 3 business, then it allows you to go back to them same communities and get training for the people that need it through these programs. Again, the federal government pays for your brothers and sisters to get trained in their skill sets. With the nonprofit, it'd be no different than what we're doing, providing information to people of our community for a service. So yes, you can.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to look into that. I appreciate your work here. I really do.
No problem. Just doing the best to do our part.
Okay, we have another question. I wanted to ask this question. Let me find the sister's question because it went up in the chat. The sister asked about what can this be used to grow hemp or cannabis?
Not HUD Section 3, but that would be under the USDA in agriculture.
Correct, and at that point, that would be more tied to local jurisdiction. So you would have to check to see what would be permissible to grow, and if that's possible, you can go that route through Department of Agriculture.
And I see a question on the screen. I don't know if anyone answered this. Has any panelist taken advantage of the opportunities they are sharing with us? We appreciate the info so much. And yes, panelists and multiple members of the community are using these programs in real time as we speak.
Here go another question. It's on the screen. Yeah, I know you see it.
Yeah, about the catering.
Yes.
No, you really wouldn't. And to be honest, finna share a little bit of info on how the wheels of my mind work on this. With these restaurants and farms, brothers and sisters, we are sitting on enough capital to where we can grow our own food. We can send it to our own caterers, restaurants, and stores to provide for ourselves. All it takes is us making this commitment to each other. All the American Indians that's selling fresh food that they buy from American Indians who grow in the fresh fruit. That all of us who own stores that sell produce, that we sell produce from our brothers and sisters. Again, we can do this. It's just us making a commitment to do business with ourselves. That's all it's ever gonna take. We're growing the food now. We're selling the food now. We're doing it now. All we're saying is, let's make that commitment before we do business with anybody else. We do business with our brothers and sisters first.
That's a fact. And every other group, and we're sitting back watching every other group go and do this same thing with each other before they go and do business with other folks. Why can't we do that? What's stopping us from doing that? Other than fear and ignorance, what's stopping us from utilizing our own resources?
Can I also add that?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. The example. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Gabrielle.
I got a delay on my end, so I don't know. Okay. I just want to add that the examples given, if you think about it, just using, going off the example with one business being registered as a HUD Section 3 business, basically having no competition. If you just going off those examples, so you register your business as a HUD Section 3, and let's say you're dealing with just the services, appliance repair, florist, marketing, you put that whole list as what, you know, you're offering, or you deal with construction, you put that whole list. That is what that's what you're going for. Those are the contracts you're saying, hey, we got this. This is what we can do. This is what we can cover.
Man, you got the chat room blowing up, man, with all this info.
We up at the first half of the of the page. It's all right. Keep it coming. Anybody any other questions before we start the next paragraph?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yep, we here.
Yeah. Okay, I ain't trying to play devil's advocate or nothing, but
Oh, no, do you.
you know, and I really wanted to first of all, I wanted to say it was good meeting you brothers and sisters down at the Grandma Killers tour. I really enjoyed what y'all had to say and everything. But like I said, I ain't trying to play devil's advocate or nothing, but I was listening to it, you know, and you were mentioning that King negotiated this public Indian housing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is can anybody use this? You know, because I also heard you say that other people were coming into our communities and using these programs for their benefit.
But they're
And, you know,
using
and I
it
was
and
wondering
they're using it in your image. See, the way the program works is this. Anybody who provides a service to the urban Indians will get funded for it. So if we're not doing it for ourselves, it does allow other people to do it for us. It's not that they're doing their own thing. They're doing it for us in their best interest.
Yeah, because they still have to hire residents and you know and all that. Bones, does this have anything to do with the Lyndon B. Johnson making this for all poor people, pretty much, instead of just Indians?
Yeah, the only way you get the benefit is you have to be in that urban area where we at. If you're not providing the services to us, then you do not get the benefit. That's why Walmart comes in.
Think about your bodegas in New York, and yeah, like you said, your Walmart's in your neighborhood.
Yeah, while Walmart come in the hood and they hire so many people from out the hood because now they get a HUD Section 3 benefit. While the NFL hires so many people from out that hood because they get a HUD Section 3
neighborhood that the stadium is in. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, what about you say like Walmart comes into your community and hire people. Okay, what about competition? I mean, so if I wanted to start something myself, that means now I got competition. Is that a good idea?
What you mean by wanting to start something yourself?
Say I wanted to start me a store, something like Walmart or something, and Walmart is in the area.
I
was wondering, is that a good move to try to do something like that?
Why wouldn't it be? If you work as a community and a community invests in a store that we build and not the Walmart, how is that a bad idea? Again, the commitment must come from us to support each other.
I'm shopping at your store.
If we had American Indian stores, why are we shopping at Walmart?
Right.
I agree, but you know us.
But that's what I'm saying. We got to remove the excuses. We got to remove the excuses because the excuses, as long as we keep saying but, it's not going to change. Commitment got to come from us. If we want this bad enough, then we sacrifice this colonized mindset that we got to return to our ancestral ways.
We just need to work together. Bottom line, that's definitely. I feel is the bottom line is we work together, and all of this is possible. Everything is possible. It's possible for other communities to do it, so I don't see how it's just impossible. Living in a dream world, if it's impossible for you, but possible for everybody else.
Exactly.
Let me get. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, just on that example with Walmart. Now, remember what I said about how your limitation is your creativity. So let's say you're going up against Walmart. You're competing in an area that you have a big box store like a Walmart or a Target or something like that. We've all been in Walmart and we've all seen produce. specifically, fruit and vegetables that look like they've been bad for about 2 or 3 days and they're still trying to sell them.
Right.
Now, if we put effort into growing our own crops, we put care into the food that we produce for ourselves, you got a much better product. You could sell on that alone, even if it is 10, 15 cents higher than what Walmart's selling it. That's part of why it's so cheap, because they don't care about what the quality is once it gets to your plate, or once you put it in your bag and you leave the store.
Right.
If you got much better produce, if you got organic produce that's much better quality, so we can focus on the things that we can outdo these big box stores. Because they came in and sold us a cheaper product, but we're starting to see, and a lot of us have been seeing for the last few years, that the quality of the product is lacking. So we can combat that by what our people have historically done anyway, made better quality products. Or where we can get products to the market easier because we don't have the supply chain that Walmart does. So they're not dependent on people picking strawberries in Mexico or California. See, there's ways to beat this big machine because it's homogenized everything. Our beauty and our strength has been in our diversity, not just in the things that we offer, but in our diversity of thought as well. So something to consider.
Right on.
I want to expand on that example. We've all been in Walmart and different stores or whatnot where you have a choice. It's the same product, but it's different brands. And then you've got the store brand, which is a little bit cheaper, or probably the cheapest price for all those brands, but it's the same product. So to be more cost effective, you go with the store brand, which is just a blanket, just the store brand, but you'll go with that. Same thing with clothes, same thing with everything else. We can do all that ourselves, have the same product, but just better.
Correct.
It's just our product.
So we have a phone call.
Okay.
Celestine wants to ask a question. Go ahead, Celestine.
Thank you, Kerry, and peace to Cab and everyone on the chat.
Celestine.
What's going on?
Is Section 3 applicable to sustainable housing, like tiny homes or houses that can use solar panels and things of that nature?
That's what I'm talking about.
So there are contracts out right now that I know about when it comes to solar panels. Putting them, there are contracts that I know that are in my local area for people who can bid on those contracts and implement solar panels on homes. So yes.
So yes, that's a yes. That is a yes.
That's a yes.
I like that the message that's on the screen. I smell a super greenhouse on the horizon, no GMO food. That's what I'm talking
shoot.
That's what's up.
Oh shoot. A super greenhouse.
Celestine, you had
I
another
was
question
thinking about
too?
a little bitty greenhouse.
Well, no, it was just tiny houses and or with solar screens. Like, there's a lot of tiny houses with different types of housing that is affordable. They have, I forget all the names of them. They have what do you call it? Container homes and things.
Yes. Yep. Sustainable properties, pretty much. Sustainable properties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Celestine, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, guys.
Wait, is it me? I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, no. Well, you off mute.
Come on.
Oh, Bones? Oh, no. What are you talking about? Answer the question? Oh, for the sustainable homes? Mic check.
1, 2.
Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Question was, can you use this program for sustainable homes?
To build homes like tiny homes,
Solar panels,
container
tiny
homes,
homes,
and sustainable homes with using solar energy.
By crossing in, a wise thing to do with that would to be using HUD Section 3 and cross it in with USDA, because you can use the USDA funds to pay for the utilities to get done. meaning the solar panels, water, stuff like that. So yes, you can.
Well, that's another crossover. I see what you're saying.
We have another caller with a question. Oh, hold on. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. I've been listening to your show for a lot of years now. I've been a follower of yours now for a lot of years, a long time. I'm calling you from Georgia. You can probably tell from my voice the way I talk. Person, and I've been following you for a long time. My thing is with everyone. When's everyone gonna start getting some land up? Some actual land. I mean, some actual land up that we have to us, to ourselves, that we can meet. I mean, something that we can call our own, that all of us can just meet. I mean, I hear everybody talking. I've been following you a long time, and I've listened to a lot of your people that have been on your show, Rick Moon, all of you guys. I'm from Georgia. I'm big. You can probably listen to my voice. I'm very, very Southern. When are you guys gonna try to get some land?
Let me answer that. We're trying to get some land when we can find support. See, we put out stuff, we put out information, but we don't get no support because we rather support the people who sell us the blonde wigs. We rather support the people who sell us the TVs. We rather support the people that sell us the blunts. We rather support the people who sell us the beer. We rather support all that bullshit, but we don't support each other. So people always saying, when we gonna get that? We got that. We got plenty of Negroes who got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 acres. They're not offering the land up so we can do something. Do we ever talk about that? No, you know what we always get? We always get this whine and bitch shit. And I'm tired of it. Come on. You see what we doing? How much? One second, ma'am, and then I'm gonna give it to you because this kind of shit pisses me off. Imagine what the Negroes spent for 4th of July and fireworks. Imagine that. Play around with it in your head and come up with, could a brother like Neely Fuller sell books at that rate? No, because we don't support each other. We support them. And that's what these brothers are talking about, how we can avoid that. So all that stuff, how come we don't have land? We have land. This land is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what to do with it because all we do is sit and bitch and whine all the time. And I'm tired of that. So that's the answer to your question.
I mean, look at it this way.
If you don't mind,
look this way. As the misidentified so-called African American, we spent $1.9 trillion on garbage. Again, $1.9 trillion on garbage. We have no business really whining about land or anything else because we have everything we need. The real problem is us. Until we start working together, we're not getting out of this mess. So brothers and sisters, you trying to tell me the Korean can come here and get a Koreatown because they work together. The Chinese can come here and get a Chinatown because they work together. The Japanese can do it, the Russians, the Germans, the Italians. Everybody can come to the home of American Indian and have their own town except the American Indian. Y'all trying to tell me we everything that they say we are? Because I refuse to believe that.
Shit.
Can I also add to that? As far as when it comes to land, and this is something that I was talking about with you earlier, Bones. There are programs out there for us to obtain land. There are programs out there for us to obtain land, whether it be residential or commercial. What it takes is for us to utilize those programs. There are funds allocated to those programs every year. And those funds, because a lot of the programs aren't utilized, those funds sit there. Those funds are allocated every year, whether we utilize those programs and participate in those programs or not. The funds are always every year, the funds are always there. There are funds out there, there are programs out there for us to obtain land, again, whether it be residential or commercial.
Matter of
But
fact,
it's,
there's an
go ahead.
American Indian brother that bought 2 houses for $100 by accessing land banks, y'all.
Yeah,
Again, when we're telling y'all there's brothers and sisters in these chats, on these channels, that have been calling in using these programs and getting SBA loans, getting loans and funds to repair their homes, getting loans and funds to do gardening. It's possible. How do you think everybody, y'all really think a foreigner come to this country and get a store just like that? No. They tell them about this stuff and they don't tell us. Why do you think everybody think we're lazy? Because they think we know about this stuff.
So, go. Let the caller had another question.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. My name is Dwayne. Okay, I'm calling you from Billy George. I'm calling you from the Deep South. Okay, the lady that was just talking, ma'am, is there any way that a person like you can work with a person like me to try to educate me to try to do what you just said? Because
Yes. That's what we do at the Auchtoctones Assembly. At the Auchtoctones Assembly, we take on the responsibility of informing you of the program. We have a Zoom community number where people call in. We will walk you through step by step to make sure that we'll do everything in our power to make sure that you can achieve your goal. This is for the American Indian 7 generations moving forward.
Oh, but we might want at no charge. Yeah, that's no charge.
At no charge.
No
No
charge.
service.
Zero service fee.
No charge.
Keep your PayPal away. Keep your Cash Apps away. No, we don't charge. We don't need to charge. This is for everybody. This is for us.
I mean, a lot of the brothers and sisters on our end that made it to the No Grandma Killer store, that's how they got there, using their SBA funds that they were awarded.
Right.
Exactly.
Here's a question. Them is the government. We're getting support from the government until I get.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know you gonna go in, so I want to give this brother your fully divided attention. Them is the government. We're getting support from the government. Until I get my nationality, I'm not with it.
You are the government.
Okay.
The government is the people. See, this is the problem when it comes to the Constitution, and we don't understand what it means. The United States Constitution states the federal government has a responsibility to us, the American Indian and the citizens. But the federal government cannot cover everyone. So the federal government allows individuals to access these programs to do it for yourself. An American Indian, we have to stop saying that we don't have a nationality. I heard the brother say earlier on the live stream, we do. We are American. That's our nationality. We are American first, American Indian. That is our nationality. The problem is we run from it so much that we don't use it to our benefit.
Right.
Ooh.
Right. And well, okay.
I'll put it to you like this. Leave this country, I promise you, you wouldn't want to be nothing else but a U.S. citizen. Be in a foreign country and let something pop off. You will pray for that United States citizenship.
And let me just add this. So when dealing with whether it be HUD, USDA, different organizations or departments, and there are benefits to being American Indian. it's just benefits. When I've filled out so many different applications, I've put in, I've talked to so many different people in different departments. There are benefits to it, and there's helpful benefits. I mean, this was put in place for us. And even now, this was put in place before I was even born. And here it is now. I'm putting in applications and filling out information and talking with people and knowing that being American Indian, how beneficial it has become for me to understand and know that. There's no hindrance there. I haven't gotten a no yet on anything. And I didn't have to say, hey, my nationality is something else. I'm just saying this. And I don't want to go there. But there are
that's why I say keep it simple. Your nationality is American.
Exactly.
You're an American Indian. Don't ever give that up. See, that's the trick. Is to give you to walk away from that. No, we are the government. We are the people. We the people. The problem is we have forgot our place in our mother's homeland and we don't use it.
Right.
You know the reason why they separated us? Because if you research, you'll find out in 1906, our Pelicans brothers and sisters that was in the reservations complaining. What was their complaint? It was too many of us, and in the vote, they will always lose. So they designed a mechanism to keep us separated, y'all. We are the government. I've been doing this for less than a year. And there's many brothers and sisters know I didn't come in this with no political experience or anything. But by using this information, I'm in the presidential meetings every Wednesday, the same ones with President Donald Trump, the National COVID Committee. Brothers and sisters, I promise you, this stuff works. I have firsthand taps into these leaders, and we're coming back telling you how this stuff works. I hear politicians that's saying we need to use this stuff before somebody else use it. It works.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, going back to the questions, who will award the economic opportunities?
Well, the grants are disseminated. The grants on HUD, how they release the funds. They release the funds based on projects, and it's the federal government that does it based on the service. The main thing that dictates if you're going to get the funding is who are you servicing and how does your service benefit this community? It's not designed for you just to say, okay, we finna run a scam because this is the federal government. Best believe you're not scamming them when it comes to this. But if your heart is in the right place and you're trying to really help, then there's a mechanism to help.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yep.
What if I wanted to start up something in another state?
As long as that area is in a qualified area, you can use HUD Section 3.
Right.
All right, thanks.
Yes, you don't have to live. See, the catch is you don't have to live in the area. You just have to service the area. You never notice a lot of these people that own these buildings that you rent, you know, in these urban neighborhoods, they don't live there. These people live in northern states because you don't have to live there to tap in. You just have to give the service to the people that's in the qualified area. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, I don't know, we didn't get to that part, but
yeah, we'll get to it.
Free is self-certified. You certify yourself.
Hold on, Bones. What you mean?
You know, like when you have to get certification to be like you meeting all the requirements to do the job and get funding. HUD Section 3.
You mean like you're your own boss at that point when you certify
yourself? Sign off and certify yourself. Yes.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
Guys, we have another caller calling in. Caller.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Okay. I was just calling to say, so y'all are saying I can just do this Section 3 and get like some kind of like start up like a gardening business or something like that to help the community, just based on the general knowledge that I have right now. Because I haven't notified anyone that I'm Indian, because I know I still carry the status, African American. I know you're supposed to put them on notice, but I haven't done none of that. I just kind of know the information. What can somebody in my position do at this point?
You're qualified. You're still qualified even outside of your American Indian status. You're qualified.
Yeah. Again, your Indian status has nothing to do with this. This program is based on median income.
Correct. Once you reach that, you're pretty much qualified for everything outside of that, or everything that it entails.
It's based on median area income.
Is that all the questions you had, caller?
Yeah, that really was it.
Okay, thank you. Hey, don't be no stranger, okay? All right, brother. Okay, brother, appreciate you. We have a brother online that says he would like to start a quail farm, a different kind of quail farm. You know, getting into industries like the quail farm and rabbits and ducks, producing foods that probably are the foods we should be eating anyway, other than all this fried chicken and all this other crap we eat. This is a perfect opportunity for that, no?
Yes, with that would be towards the USDA when it comes to like food, livestock, agriculture. But them programs are very easy to access too. And like we said before, anytime you want us to come back, we'll come back and break down those too.
So is everybody in the chat feeling what these brothers are saying and how, and I think the number one thing that flows through all of this is we got to work together, y'all. I mean, we keep trying to do stuff and we see that all that crap that's been put in front of us, it doesn't work. We have to work together. You have people that have all kind of skills that we can use for this. Brothers, we have another phone caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Sean, calling from Yonkers. I had a question when it comes to business loans and stuff and grants. I have a business that I just started. It's still different, an MSP, so they're serving small and medium businesses. And I'm an American Indian. I don't classify myself as black, stuff like that. Do you have any suggestions of what grants that I could apply for? Because you only need a black or I'm African American, and I don't really identify myself as that.
Well, the one thing with these programs, none of that matter because they don't ask you about any of that. None of that is the qualifications for any of this funding. But for you started a new business, my first suggestion would be check your local SBA, your Small Business Administration. They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot for businesses now. Matter of fact, if your business was affected by COVID, they're giving a lot of loans out for that. We have brothers and sisters who already achieved their SBA loans for the COVID pandemic already.
Understood. Thank you.
No problem. And that's for anyone that started a business. All you got to do is go online, type in your state and the SBA, and it'll pop up. The SBA for your state. Every local area has one.
Did you want to go back to the list? To go back to the list, what we were reading from?
Yeah,
right. My bad. I'll get back to reading. We finished the list, right?
Yes. It's just these questions. I mean, I'm just going down the list that you sent me, and so who receives priority under Section 3? I think that's where we left off.
Yeah.
Right. I'll go ahead and finish it off. Who will award the economic, who receives priority under Section 3? For training and employment, persons in public and assisted housing, persons in the area where the HUD financial assistance is expanded, participants in HUD youth build programs, homeless persons. For contracting, businesses that meet the definition of a Section 3 business concern. And that's a hot link.
So just what you're saying is all we have to do is read this stuff, and we have to read it and put it into action, guys. And he says,
Right.
I'm saying there's ways for us. We can't be lazy and then mad when some other people are doing stuff, and then we go support them because we look stupid doing that. You know, so the opportunity is there, and what's like the brother said at the beginning of the program. You know, we just have to work together. Bones, can you talk about the importance of that, working together?
Yeah, because working together, it allows us to put our work together for combined credit. And that combined credit is what allows us as communities to access things that normally as an individual you couldn't even dream of doing. It's just like sweat equity. And I can use, for example, what we're doing as a community on the farming. All of us have a farm. And by all of us farming and logging our hours and our time that we put it in, we put all our time together to form a co-op. By working together and forming this co-op, now it allows us to put all our hours and our sweat equity together to put towards getting acres of land for community farming. And all that's a benefit by working together. If you're farming stuff anyway, why not work with brothers and sisters? That forms a co-op. That opens up other revenue streams. That allows you to do crop swapping. That allows you to do seed banks, because now you can have the seeds and start a seed farm to make sure everybody in the community has seeds to grow stuff. This co-op can now, like we said earlier, provide fresh foods, fruits and vegetables to restaurants and stores in our community by working together. Again, no one gets nowhere in life by doing anything by yourself. If a person told you they made it by themselves, that's a lie. Everyone needs help. Getting help is not a handout. There's a difference. A handout is you want to sit on your butt and you don't move. Help is you're doing your part to make sure it can move forward.
We have another.
That's right.
We have a brother with another question.
Yes, just one question. What if you started your business during the COVID epidemic?
You said, what if you started it during the COVID epidemic?
Correct.
Then that mean that you're eligible for a lot of the funds that's going out for the COVID relief. So if you started your business during this time, then you should fill out the SBA information, because you'll be on the list to qualify for it, because your business is affected because of the conditions.
Definitely. Thank you.
No problem.
Cool, brother. So how does one get started with all of this? How does one just, you know, I'm just hearing this information and I want to get started. What do I do?
Well, my suggestion would be look for like-minded individuals in your area that's close in your area, so that way you can start putting a team of people together so you can get this done. What a lot of people can do right now today, if you have a business, before the night ends, register your business as a HUD Section 3 business. If you live in these areas, register yourself as a HUD Section 3 resident, because now what you're doing, you're putting yourself in position to receive the benefit. That would be the first thing I would do dealing with HUD Section 3, register myself as a business and a resident, then start getting together with like-minded individuals in this community so we can start searching for projects that we can rebuild.
And you don't
Believe
need
it or not,
anything.
the process moves kind of fast. I would tell you this now. It moves faster than you think it can. Most of these proposals.
So I can just walk into somebody.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm saying, so I can just walk into somebody's office tomorrow and just register as a HUD business and a HUD resident. I could just do
You,
that.
you can do that
You can do that
online
on
right now from their
You can do that
website.
right now. Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere.
right.
Less than 5
Now, I was
minutes
just
to your
Appreciate
making
you,
sure
vote.
I
David.
said it right.
Mm-hmm.
Copper Color Tie asks, what is the minimum amount of money we will need to purchase one of these projects?
Absolutely zero.
Yeah, if you're talking about your own funds, no, nothing.
Yeah, no, you're not putting a dollar out of your pocket. No. These programs work by proving that you're providing a service.
So Eugene Page asks, so even though I don't live in Section 8, I can still register for HUD Section 3?
Yes, you can. It shows your area. What did the qualifications say? It shows your area has a housing authority. Yes, you can.
This is something I want to add too. I know questions are important, but there comes a time, you guys, when we get information like this and knowing the talent we have amongst us, and if you look at how talented these young folks are, how all of us are, the like minds, there's a whole bunch of things we can use this for if we put our minds to it, and we can train our children for what we want them to do coming up, and that will keep them, keep moving forward. So here's my 2 cents. So let's just say if brothers came up with a bedding, a mattress, a furniture store in North Carolina, because that's where all the beds and stuff are made. This is the kind of program that could use to be the impetus of that. Right?
Uh-huh.
Yep, correct.
So true. And I see Bonton South Dallas asks, can one house count as a housing authority? Well, Bonton, you've been watching the show. Yes, it can. How do you think these people have their houses and rent them out to Section 8 vouchers? Because they're a housing authority. You just don't look at them like that.
I'll say that one more time, Bones. One more time.
How do you think these people have their houses and rent them out to Section 8 vouchers? Because them people that's renting them houses are considered a housing authority. A housing authority isn't just a project building. Oh, no. That's the image that they want you to think it is. It's way more than that. I'm finna say it again. The NFL owns housing authorities.
So brothers, can you? So brothers, can you give just some information? We can pick this up again because we didn't even get halfway through the list of what things that can be done or what this Section 3 can do, or some of these programs that are available to us.
Yeah, basically, again, like we started it. HUD Section 3 is a program that was designed for us so we can take on the responsibility of rebuilding our communities. We can take on the responsibility of getting the proper training in the skill sets so we can maintain our communities. Again, all it takes is us working together. And I would advise everyone during your downtime, just go on YouTube and type in HUD Section 3 for yourself. Look at how many brothers and sisters that's going to look just like you that are being awarded contracts to build housing for their communities. No experience whatsoever in construction. They just recognize there's something wrong and they can do something about it to fix it. And again, that's all we're saying here. We're not saying that this is the only way, but what we are saying, this is a way that we know that guaranteed work. That by using this way, you don't have to be looking over your shoulder, worrying about nobody kicking your dough in, worrying about nobody snatching your children away. It works.
Yes, sir. We have another phone call coming in right now. Ma'am, sir, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, good evening. They call me Shirley. I'm calling from Las Vegas right now. That's where I'm at now. And I'm calling in and I look at that. A couple questions. I like to participate and help because I was trying to take care of some little family lands, and I couldn't get people to help. And I don't know what I'm doing. And, it's like it's their property. You can't sell it if you use it. And I heard about that Section 3. And that was some planning I wanted to do, like a community or some businesses. But I'm not where the land is. But I was, when you have people that have land, it's, like air property, what would I need to do, or who can I get in contact could help me to establish? Been trying to do it for years.
All right. Well, what we can do, someone on here can put our contact in the chat, and you can just link us up, and we can have a sit-down meeting to see exactly what the situation is with you and the property, so that way we can give you the right direction on what to go in. I can't really tell you the right direction until I see what the situation is.
Right. So you're gonna put a link in the chat today?
I've been putting the email address in the chat. I'm not able to put a link in the chat without a wrench. So I just been putting the email contact is there a few times. I want to
email contact will be in the chat, and you can just email us from there with the information, and we'll set up something. We'll look through it.
I can put I'll put the Zoom link in this back chat here, and Mr. Davis, you can post it in the chat if you can.
If you put it in the chat, I'll pull it up right now.
Gotcha. All right, I'll put it in there.
And the link that they posted, this is Auchtoctones Assembly's community Zoom link. This is the line to where we get together as a community behind closed doors, discuss business, work on these programs, and more education to move forward. If you had this Zoom number, you're more than welcome to use it. Again, this is where the community get together, where we discuss behind the scenes amongst the American Indians. No drama, no fluff for 7 generations ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. No drama. So the Zoom link number, I'll send you an email, and you give me the Zoom number there. I'm not looking at the phone. I'm on the phone.
Yeah, they put it in the chat. So if you go in the YouTube chat, or if you get off the thing, you can just grab it from out of there. And that's the same Zoom number at all times. Just listen, brothers and sisters will be on there 2:30 in the morning talking.
Okay. I would like that. I'll look for that. I'll look for the link. I had planned to do something here just July, and it's that grandma's tumor. And I still had the ticket for it, but wasn't able to get there. And that's why I appreciate hearing you all on tonight. I've heard you on before talking about that Section 3, because yes, I've seen and read about it. And the people right there, authorities, the housing authority, won't even tell you what it is. You're asking about it, and they blow you. They're not giving you that information. I wish I had it known, but I don't know. And I appreciate the link. So I look forward to. I want to get something going now. It's not like we got it forever. And perfect time. I thank you all so much.
No problem.
No problem.
And to any brothers and sisters.
Got another caller, brother. Got another caller.
Right.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tina from Maryland. I'd like to know, because you're saying there's a chat number, and I'm just looking at your information from YouTube. How can I get in touch with the organization so I can get some more information?
Yeah, I just put it in the back chat here, so it can be copied into the chat now, our Zoom link, and then I'm going to be typing in the email address in the chat.
I can't get in the back chat because I don't know what that is. I'm on YouTube looking at this here and it's information.
Yeah, they finna post it in the YouTube chat real quick for you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
You might want to send me that email address too, because I have another chat over here, and this may not be going.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And again, to any brothers and sisters, if you're dealing with your housing authority on HUD Section 3 and they're giving you the runaround, please contact us. Please let us know. We have no problem with joining these meetings with you, setting up these meetings with your local representatives. We deal with them all the time.
Correct.
And to let you know, when we come across them and they trying to fraud our people, we have no problem with getting them removed.
Oh,
so
yeah,
again,
that's not a problem.
that it's on record. We'll do it again. So again, if you have any problem with your housing representatives giving you a hard time about this information with these programs, or you just want to go into the conference being more secure with the information, hit us up. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
Well, brother, can you shout out your email address, because it's not coming up on the chat? Could you call it out so people can have it?
No problem. It's AUCHTONEASSEMBLY, and that's at gmail.com. Or you can just put the same name in with .com, and that's the website.
That's the website. It's not showing up in the chat. I'm typing it in. I've been typing it a few times, trying to make sure it's showing up.
No, is it Indigenous One channel, or because that's where it's coming up as?
Yeah, it's on Indigenous One channel under No Sellout. I'm in the chat under No Sellout.
Yeah.
Not
No Sellout.
Let's see.
It's in the back chat.
Yeah, I posted. Did you got both of them in the back chat? I posted the email address and the Zoom link in the back chat so you can copy and paste it.
Okay.
Yeah, they back there. I saw them.
Okay,
in the StreamYard chat, I mean.
Okay, so here's the Zoom link. I'll post the Zoom link first.
All right.
Then the email is, well, I'm posting them both together.
Gotcha.
All right. So, brothers, listen, man, I want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing. And can you come back, because I want to let this kind of marinate with the people a little bit, because these are ideas and stuff that you can come up with around where you live. We have all kind of things we need around where we live. We need, brother was telling me, we need a knowledge base. We need to teach our kids stuff that they know so they can be an asset to the community. There's all kind of things that we can do. There's all kind of energy that we can expend, and we just got to do it. And here's an outlet to let you do it. So I want to thank you, brothers, for coming on and sharing. And please contact these brothers, because they got information for you. I'm telling you guys, they know, and they can be of a great of assistance to not only yourself, but people in your family and your community, as you know, everybody.
All right, and I'd like to thank you, Brother Kerry Davis, for giving us the opportunity to bring some more information to the community. And again, anytime you want us to come talk about programs or to finish up, just let us know. We here. Anything for the community. We all hands
Yes, sir. That's wide open schedule right now for this type of thing right here.
Okay, so I'm just putting your Zoom channel up and your email address up. Everybody get it. I just posted it at 7:48. That's their information. You can contact them with the Section 3 housing and a whole bunch of other things that, you know, is available to you. So check these brothers out. Cool, man. Thanks. So listen, this has been another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans. Listen, y'all, everything is at your fingertips. All we need is the hands. We need hands. We need people to do things. We just can't sit down and hope and pray that they're going to come, because they're not. We got to be the motivation force behind everything that we do. So until next time, peace.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.